Awaken the entrepreneur within. Hi, it's John, it's the Marketing for Owners podcast, and today I'm sitting down indoors. It's a bit cold outside. I would love you to think of yourself as an entrepreneur. Now, it's very, of course, I have a worldwide audience, so people listening from all over the world, so please don't take offence. My friends in North America, when I say it's a very American term, in the UK, we don't really think of ourselves so much as an entrepreneur. It's a lot of younger people are, it's a newer thing, but many of us look at this differently. Whichever way you look at it, an entrepreneur is someone who wants to make the most of their life and to be in control of their own destiny. Now, if you are in business, if you are self-employed, if you are a business owner, you are in control of your destiny. But you probably don't think of yourself as an entrepreneur, and you are. And that's the thing is, so you need to waken that up. You need to realize what you can do. Firstly, a lot of us are drilled at school into getting a job, working for the man, going to university, and all of that sort of thing. I mean, my kids, my daughter is currently at university. She's going to come out with huge debts, and it's just the norm. But as time goes on, things are going to change. As life moves forward and as it increasingly accelerates, or if you think of the new developments, for example, driverless cars, think of what that is going to do. And in our lifetime, imagine no more taxi drivers required when the things are just automated, run by Uber and Lyft, and you can just summons it. In fact, will we even need a car? Once Apple and Google start to control, and the tech companies start to control that, think of car factories and everything else that goes with it. Like things like petrol stations, all those people with jobs. So what I'm getting at, and all those people with jobs, what are they going to do in the future? Because there won't be so many. Right down to France peages, all that thing, toll booths, things like this, and all of the things that get associated with it. Think of old car building factories full of people, thousands of people. Have you ever seen one these days? They have thousands of robots. They still have people, but they have like a 1/100th of the workforce. That is going to get more automated. People will lose jobs, or just things will just be automated out of existence. So you're going to be better off if you are an entrepreneurial type and can be in control of your own future. But how do you go about doing this? Well, you need to understand, first of all, it's a mindset. You need to understand that you are an entrepreneur and that you are in control. You are not just self-employed. So what I recommend is that you think of, first of all, your why. Why are you doing this? Then when you started, there must have been a reason why you didn't just go and get an ordinary job. There's a why, and think about it with a bit more depth. It wasn't because I needed the money. It's more than that. There are many ways you can need the money. It may be the fact that you love it. For instance, you may be a mechanic, or you may run garages. It may be because you love cars. And it's whatever it is, figure out your why, figure out why you're doing it. That helps, because if you have a reason other than money and other than just keep yourself busy in the day, that certainly helps. But then think where you want to be in, say, 3 years' time. If you can figure out planning, because this is what most of us are missing, is planning. And once we have planning, then we can set some goals. And then we can set a strategy and we can start heading towards our targets. So planning and goals, I mean, thinking your future through, thinking of where the business wants to go or where you want to go, that gives you those goals, that gives you that overarching plan, right? Your game plan. And many of us just live day to day, hand to mouth, and we don't really think it through. We don't think long term, because once you figure out what you want in the future, you can start thinking a bit further ahead and thinking a little bit more long term. Once you think long term, you can build a strategy, okay, like I just said. And once we have a strategy can be broken down into the constituent parts, and it can be broken down into projects and into little mini strategies to get there bit by bit, step by step. So if you want to go, again, forgive those of you listening just on iTunes, I'm doing hand signals here. If you want to go from here to up there, there's a time, you've got time between the starting and the finishing point. So you need to know over what period of time. And you need to know, do you go in a straight line or is it like a hockey stick, goes along sort of quietly, then shoots up at the end? But whatever it is, you want to go from here to there, and there will be stages in between. So if you break that down, say that's over 3 years, figure out, kind of reverse engineer it to figure out where you'd need to be in 2 years, and then where you'd need to be in 1 year. And then you can work out what it will take to get there in 1 year, to get to that point, and then what it will take to get to where you need to be in 2 years. And then, you see, you can break it down, make it easier. But if you realize you're an entrepreneur, you can start looking into what others are doing. And one of the best things you can do is to read books and get inspired by others who have done this and done things before, to see what's possible. A lot of these people are not 19-year-old Mark Zuckerbergs. They are not like the Google guys. They are not Steve Jobs. Don't believe the hype. There are ordinary people. I mean, I remember interviewing Nick Wheeler of Charles Tyrwhitt Shirts, or CT Shirts, and he's got a £200 million business. When he started, he bought some leaflets, I think for 50 quid from the equivalent of Vistaprint, and he mailed them out with shirts on. And when he got orders back, he then had the shirts made, or bought the shirts in. He didn't buy the stock, he got the sales first. And you might think, well, I can't do that. Well, hey, he now does 200 million a year, many, many years later, but there was a path in between. When they started Screwfix, this is in the UK, by the way, and if anyone else, Screwfix, a massive business. They sell screws. In fact, they sell all tools now, but originally they sold screws. They specialised in screws at a time when everybody was using screws. Anyone could have done this. And the guy faxed out a list of screws to people. And because no one had ever done it before, he figured that anyone who's working, anyone in building, construction, can do this. And all he did was just sent this list of, a price list of, all the different types of screws that he had for sale, just sent them out to anybody who could possibly need to buy screws. And he built up that list, and he built it up, and he built it up. You could do this, but if you can read about people who've done that before, it will give you ideas and bits of inspiration. I mean, you might be in a business where you're online, and that's all your marketing, and you've never thought that you could actually mail shot people, direct mail, even the people that are on your list. So you might want to find out about it and how others have succeeded. So please, please, please try and learn some more and see what others have done, other entrepreneurs. There are no miraculous new things. We are not going to invent the next Snapchat or Facebook. We're not going to build a search engine, except though one or two of you that are. But we're not generally going to do that. We're going to do ordinary stuff. People are doing ordinary stuff, making great money and having fantastic lives. You can do the same. Okay. It is Thursday. It is time for a Drive Time podcast. And here's another inspiring one. A couple of days ago, I spoke about speaking. Yeah, I encouraged you to make the most of speaking opportunities. Well, Michael Port is a fabulous speaker, and he's a fantastic book I've recommended before called Steal the Show. He has a podcast called Steal the Show. Michael Port used to be an actor, and when he talks about speaking, it's fantastic. But he also interviews entrepreneurs, people who've been there, built businesses from scratch and learned how to speak, learned how to make videos and so on. So go and look at the podcast Steal the Show with Michael Port. You will not regret it. He's great.